I want us to role play, transition, and big outcome. Okay. So we go from the transition, we do big outcome. Want to do 1 or 2 role plays there, see how you guys are doing this transition. And then we're going to role play the bridge. So let's do, nobody had a question. So I'm going to assume you guys know how to do it. Okay. So I'm going to judge you with the assumption that you guys know how to do it. So let's do Brian first. Okay, Brian. So you've gone through consequence, question, consequence section. So consequence question, why now? Commitment statement. And for a change, possibly, you ready to draw a line in the sun and start walking the walk and yeah, it's time. And boom, you go with your transition and your big outcome statement. Okay, you're not gonna need a prospect to role play. Just role play with yourself because it's gonna be okay. Yeah, sounds good. It's just you don't need. Let's just give you a supporter. Let's just give you Kendall. Kendall will be prospect. Okay, so that is no weird. Brian, whenever you're ready, go.
Okay, cool. Kendall, now that I have a clear picture of where you're currently at, and based on what you've told me, being an appointment setter could actually work for you because, as you've mentioned, that your main goal really is to get out of your 9 to 5. You don't want to be confined into being in an office environment. Essentially, that's what being an appointment setter is, so that you've got that flexibility to be able to travel around whenever you want, and also have that potential income for you to be able to earn the 5 to 10K per month, which you're not able to do, as you said, with your current 9 to 5 so far. Okay. And so, yeah, so from here, it's totally up to you. I don't know if you have any specific questions for me, or we can walk through what that process looks like, and then you can ask me questions along the way. It's totally up to you.
I don't have any other questions at this time. I think everything's pretty clear.
Cool. Perfect. Let's go through what that process actually looks like. Do you have anything to take notes with by any chance?
Yeah, absolutely. I have a pen and paper right here.
Perfect. You came in prepared. That's good. So yeah, first thing first. So I suppose you could say the big goal or the outcome that we're looking for, or that we provide, is that we get you to becoming a high skilled appointment setter within 3 to 4 months. Okay, so that's how it would take on average. Now, within that time frame as well, is that we also help you to find positions so that you can actually start to monetize your skill as an appointment setter. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
done.
yeah.
Okay. So rate Brian's performance scale of 1 to 10. Put it in the chat. So what do you think about how he did it? 10 is perfect. 1 is horrible. Get out of this call. So we got a 9 from Cameron, 9 from Who's, 9 from Running, 9 from Matthew, and the rest are sleeping. Okay, awesome. Dude, you did amazing, bro. Amazing. That's exactly how you need to do it. Great job, great tone, great everything. The transition is a confirmation. Okay, it's like the doctor saying, "Yeah, you do have this issue because you see how you did this and it hurt, and when you eat apples, you have diarrhea. Yeah, you have this, whatever that might be. You know what I mean? It's that kind of vibe. Little things, okay, to just increase compliance and reply rates. Little things. So from here, we can do different things. I can walk you through the entire process A to C of how you can achieve your goals as an appointment setter. And you can ask me questions along the way, or if you have any specific things you want to start off, and then we cover the process. Totally up to you. So I am asking a question where it's very hard to say no to the process, to do the walkthrough through the process. Can you guys see that? Everybody's going to say, no, let's go through the process first. But again, 9 out of 10, bro. Cool. Let's do Kendall now.
I do mine a little bit different, so I do want your feedback.
Okay. And let's have Nick be the prospect. Okay? Go.
Okay, awesome, Nick. I'm not going to say awesome. Let's replay.
Replay.
Okay, now that I understand why you might be considering appointment setting, you did mention you really do want to get out of your 9 to 5. You're sick of living that office life, being in the rat race, commuting for an hour and a half a day, and you feel like this could potentially be a good fit for you. Yeah. I would love to go into the whole process on how we could help you become a successful appointment setter. But before I do that, do you have any questions? Or would you like me to go into how that works?
Yeah, none right now. I think we can go into it. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And so before I get started, do you have something that you're able to take notes with, a pen and paper or a notepad?
Yeah. Got a pen, a paper. Yeah. Good to
Awesome.
go.
Okay, great. So you came prepared. I love it. All right, so we can dive right in. Sorry, I'm really nervous.
You're
I
good. You're
always
good.
get
You're
so
good.
nervous when I do role
You're good.
plays.
Go. 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 Go.
Okay,
Bounce back.
we have 3 phases to our program, okay?
Okay,
So
let's stop there.
okay, I know I got so nervous and then I fucked up.
Big outcome. You went directly into the bridge.
I did, yeah.
But no worries. Quick feedback here. The transition is weak, and I'm gonna explain you why.
Okay,
You give too much power,
okay.
right? You give away your frame, right? Before we will go over. Do you have any question? Oh yeah, I have a question. How does the interview process works? Game over. Now he has control of the conversation, right? So what I want to do in the transition is confirmation of diagnosis. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I see. After we're coming from consequence. I see. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much for sharing all of this with me. I know sometimes we can get a little bit personal. I do appreciate that. Now, based on what you've mentioned, I actually believe that appointment setting could actually work for you because you know how you said ladder with appointment setting, you solve this and you also have that. So it's like a confirmation of the diagnosis. Yeah, this could actually work for you because XYZ. You customize it. Because you know how you were saying that you were commuting 2 hours. This is fully remote. So you're just gonna wipe up, you're gonna remove the commuting, and you're gonna increase the income potential, which is something that you were looking for so that you can buy a house for your mom. So I guess so you see, it's like confirmation of the diagnosis. So I've diagnosed you, and now I'm telling you verbally, hey, yeah, you have diarrhea. This is like a whatever that might be. I'm just coming up with shit, but it's yeah, you have this thing. You have, I don't know, you have stomach blank, whatever that might be. Because you know how when you eat this, whatever that might be. Oh yeah. So then it's just that. That's the transition. And then is the next thing of the transition is from here, it's not one of the things that lowers your status and puts you at the risk of being salesy is from here, I would love to show you what we can do and how we can help you. You're entering convincing territory. Never say I. You shouldn't say I in the whole conversation. Like the word I shouldn't even be there. So it's like from here, what I can do, there's an I there. Okay. Well, so from here, what we can do is I can go over. Okay. But if I would love to walk you through, I want to do it. Right. It's me wanting to sell you. But if you go from here, what I can do is I can walk you through the entire process A to C of how achieving your goals as an appointment setter would look like. I'm doing you a favor. Do you see the difference?
Yeah.
So from here, I can walk you through the entire process A to C of how becoming an appointment setter $4,000 to $6,000 per month would look like. And you can, of course, you can ask me questions along the way. We can go back and forth. Or if you have anything that is important that you want to cover first, and then we go through the process, totally up to you. So I'm giving the illusion of control. Why? Because it's very hard that their brain goes, yeah, I have questions first. I want to cover this and that. And even if they do, we're still going to go through the process first. So they don't really have an option. We're just make them believe they do. Okay. But so far overall, it's just those enhancements. Okay, cool. Let's now move into the breach. Okay. And let's go with someone else who wants to do the breach. Like what we're going to do is, oh, and by the way, before we go into the breach, when I state the outcome, guys, in any offer, I don't care in which offer are you. When I state the outcome, I like to state the result and the time frames. Very powerful. First of all, I always like to say, okay, so first of all, or before anything, or first thing, let's start with the outcome in mind. That's what I say in the big outcome. Okay, first of all, let's just start with the outcome in mind. The goal of this entire trajectory, blank. Or first of all, let's start with the outcome in mind. I want you to write down 3 to 4 months because that's the timeline, that's the window, the time we work with people. And the goal in these 3 to 4 months is to make sure you are making at least $3,000 to $4,000 per month, already making commissions as an appointment setter. That's the goal. So in 3 months, you are making $2,000 to $3,000 as an appointment setter. That's what I like to say. I don't care what is the offer. So imagine I'm in a Amazon FBA offer, right? Okay, cool. So let's start with the outcome in mind. Really, the goal in this trajectory is to make sure that within the next 90 days, you already have one store up and running, making at least $5,000 in revenue from your Amazon store. That's the goal, and that's the timeline. Now, how do we do that? We have a process for that, obviously. I'm going to walk you through it right now. Or we have a 3-phase process, and I'm going to walk you through it. Feel free to ask me any questions along the way, okay? And now we're going to the bridge. Those 3 phases are the bridge. Any questions on that? No. Okay, cool. So who wants to do big outcome? And just that, just big outcome. So do you have something to take notes with? And everything until the moment we start with phase 1. Who wants to practice that? Big outcome? Just big outcome, essentially. Okay, Cameron. All right, let's do your prospect, okay? The prospect here is nothing. It's very easy. Okay, go, guys.
All right, Mike, do you have a pen and paper, something to take notes with?
Yeah, I do.
All right, amazing, man. So first thing I want you to do is I want you to have a clear outcome, because at the end of the day, that's what you're striving for. So what I want you to write down there is 3 to 4 months. And that is the time period when we want to achieve these goals, right?
Mhm.
And the
Okay.
2 goals within these 3 to 4 months that we're trying to achieve is 1, turn you into a highly skilled appointment setter, and 2, put you in a place where you can utilize these skills. Make sense?
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, stop there. Very good, Cameron. Very good. Very well verbally articulated. You paint a clear picture, very specific, very good. Okay. And it's very realistic as well. You went for the more downplaying it, as opposed to saying, number 1, turning you into a high skill appointment setter. Number 2, making sure you are already making between $2,000 to $3,000 per month. Okay. Which is good, honestly, because I'm all about under promising and over delivering. So that's good as well. So great job. Okay. But just so everybody knows here, and this is true data. So this is data. Just so everybody knows here, our average students, they make $5,000 per month after 3 months of being certified. Because we take everybody that has been certified, how much money they're making, and we just do the average. So it's pretty cool. So if you just say 2 to 3K, it's pretty solid. Like it's above the average, right? Ronin, go ahead, my man.
I've been saying 1,800. Should I change that to 2 to 3K? Because during the bridge.
Yeah, so if you have to choose between saying 2 to 3K or saying what Cameron said, I might as well say what Cameron said.
Okay.
So having you monetize those skills already within 3 months, you're already making money, which is more vague. So we'll just go, if I'm going to go vague, I'm going to go vague. If I'm going to give a number, you might as well give like a good number, but without overpromising and creating an expectation that this guy's going to make $10,000 per month in 90 days. But
Yeah.
you can say 2 to 3, like 2 to 3 is realistic. Like if they just go through the process and they do the work and they go all in 60 days, they can be placed already, or in 8 weeks, they can be placed already. And then in the next 2 weeks, they can be already at 2K in commissions and the month is not even over. So yeah, that's realistic. Imagine a DM7 comes in a good company, they're going to get a 1,500 base or a 1K base plus commission. We're not going to do the bridge, because the bridge is a freaking training in of itself. Like it's just literally 2 hours. If we want to really get into the weeds with that. So we're just going to skip it. We're just going to go over the conclusion statement right now. I want to see how you guys do the conclusion statement, the tempo change from an energy standpoint and also from a technicality standpoint, but the energy is important. So who wants to try? I just need a candidate to practice the conclusion statement and a little bit of the tempo change. I'm just going to share this with you just so we know where we're at. We're going to practice this conclusion statement and a little bit of the tempo change. So who's coming in?
I'll do it. I always get nervous when I fucking talk in front of people, but I'm just gonna put it on one person on the screen and I'm just gonna do it.
Okay, so conclusions. Okay, let's do something. Do you guys want me to do it and then you go? Yeah. Okay, let's do that. I will do it. And then you guys try it. So I'm gonna do a conclusion statement. It's just one freaking sentence. It's a statement. And then I'm gonna do the tempo change. And let's wait for the prospect to ask 2 questions. We answer those 2 questions and we end the role play. That's it. So who wants to be prospect? Who can play prospect for me?
I
I'll
got
do
you.
it.
Oh.
Okay. You go for it, bro. Go for it.
Okay, awesome. So running. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. So that's pretty much it. Running. That's really what it takes to just go from the grocery store, learning the skills, land a position, start making $3,000 to $4,000 in your first month, like realistically, and then you just go and grow from there. Okay.
Wow.
Cool, man. I guess. Any thoughts? Any questions on the process?
It's really simple, very straightforward. I like that.
Any
So,
questions on your list that I haven't answered?
I don't think so. Is there like any guarantees in there, or because I didn't hear any of that?
So stop. Let's say we went over the guarantees because it
Oh,
will be
okay,
part of
okay,
the
okay.
bridge. It will be part of the bridge. So, yeah.
No, not really. I like how everything's set up. It's like I said, it's super straightforward. Like
Yeah, I
didn't
know.
really get
It,
lost.
it is. Take your time. No rush here. We could just go with over your notes
Yeah.
in case any questions pop up on a specific phase. That's what I'm here for.
You said like about 30 to 60 days on average to pass that phase 1. Is that including the person like on somebody who's taken the longest to get through phase 1?
What's behind that? Just so I understand what kind of information are you looking for?
I just want to know. I don't know if it's because 30 to 60 days on average, that's with everybody in the program. I
See,
just want to
that's the
know.
averages. Yeah, that's the average.
Okay. Is anyone taking any longer or any sooner?
It depends on how much commitment and time can you put. Yeah.
Okay.
Like how much time can you put into this if you're gonna make this really your goal in a reality?
Minimum per week. Minimum at least 14 hours.
That's
for
a pretty
sure.
good pace. That's on the average pacing. So you'll be
Okay.
flying through it. Yeah.
Okay. And then the job placement, how exactly does that work?
In what way though?
So you give us jobs, right? Or you give us job opportunities, right?
Yeah. So we teach you how to fish and we give you some fish, correct?
So do you source those out or do people come to you for that?
How do you mean? Sorry. Can you
Do
say that in a
people-
different way?
Do people come to you asking for DM setters or do you go out and look for jobs?
Both, actually. So we have a
Okay.
network of 75 clients that we serve and we recruit for, but
Okay.
also we have our inner circle community as well, where we see people that are knowing our client base looking for closer. So that's how we do those connections as well.
Yeah, I don't think I have any other questions. What's the investment? That's mainly the last thing I'm looking at.
Okay, boom, stop roleplay. Thank you, Ronin. You guys see what you guys see? It's that. It's just that. It's you're there forcing them to think, to digest the bridge. Okay, don't rush it until they ask the price question. You see what I did when he started to ask questions? I think, is this a question I should be answering or is this a question I should be what?
Probing.
Probing into. You see the amount of times I probed into the question? Because it's like you need to be able to read whether it's a relevant question or not. If it's not a relevant question, then the relevant question is behind that question. Do I have to find opportunities? Do you guys help me with that? How do you mean by that? What's behind that? Just so I understand. What are you looking for? Just so I can point you the right direction. Sorry, not sure if I got you. Can you say that in a different way? We probe into. Okay, who wants to try?
Yeah, I'll give it a go.
Brian. And then we'll go with Cameron. Okay. Who can play prospect? Prospect.
I'll play prospect.
There you go. Cameron. Okay. Conclusion statement and 1 or 2 questions. And then just Cameron asks for the price question. Lastly. Okay, go.
Cool. So yeah, Cameron, that's pretty much it. That's how we get you to becoming a high skilled appointment setter within 3 to 4 months, and obviously get out of your 9 to 5. Realistically, making around about 3 to 4K within the first couple of months, and then work your way up to making 5 to 10K per month as your skill set grows over time as well.
All right. Makes sense.
Cool. Any thoughts, any questions?
Right now, maybe just a couple, maybe more about the process of just like the certification process. Like, what exactly, like, when you go to the certification process, like, what are all the tools you guys will be implementing? I know you said training and like mentorship, but what type of training and mentorship?
What's behind that, just so that I can give you clarity around that? What's behind that, so I can understand a bit more? How do you mean?
I just wanted to know how many coaches will I be getting and will I be having people to practice with on a day-to-day basis? What would that look like?
So yeah, so as we've covered, so you'll get your own client success manager, so you'll have your one-on-one coach.
Yeah. Okay. So are there other coaches that I could talk to too?
So in regards to that, there are other coaches, but you'll be assigned your own.
Okay, makes sense.
Anything else?
And what type of jobs do you guys usually recruit for? I know, like, I'm looking for maybe to work within like tech sales. So do you have any of those?
What do you mean by that exactly?
I just wanted to know, do you have a list of the companies that you guys recruit for that you could connect me with in your pipeline?
Yeah, so obviously you'll have the opportunity to obviously go through the list of placements. So you can have a pick of whichever one is obviously in terms of like your schedule's availabilities that's going to work with you. So we obviously line you up to see which one works best for you as well.
All right.
Does that answer all your questions? Or
Yeah, just the only thing would be how much it is.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's
sure.
just stop there. Stop there. Okay. Any questions, thoughts, feedback, good things for Brian? Can be
I
feedback,
really
can be
like Brian's energy. He was very, like you say, short and punchy when he was doing the question answering. And his energy was like very strong, very certain. And he's just like, yeah, no problem. On to the next thing. I really like that.
yeah. You see how Brian was holding the space? Like with his pacing, he was waiting, go, digest the bridge. No problem. Just put it all out. Tell me but he wasn't saying that. He was like, yep. Any thoughts? It was not, it is Doctor Strange stopping time. Boom. Let's just stop here time. No rush. You go. Right? That's why I like to say things like, any questions on your list that I have an answer? Any thoughts? Anything else? And with a tone that comes from, hey, we're good. No rush. Take your time. I may even say, take your time. Yeah. And then they think there's nothing else they can do. Okay, I may think. Okay, this guy's telling me to think. I'm gonna think. No. And then once they ask, you see how Cameron said, that was a very good question, Cameron, because a lot of people ask. I'm in tech, so I would love if there is any position that I can do in tech. And here, really, this situation really comes down to your expertise. Like, how well educated are you on the product? And how much of an expert you are. A lot of people also ask me, hey, Paulo, I'm a closer. I'm on an Airbnb offer. Should I study the product? Should I learn about the product and become more savvy about the Airbnb? I've never done this. Like, I'm a closer. Guess what my answer is? Heck fucking yeah, go through the freaking product, watch the coaching calls, engage with the clients, ask your business owner everything. Like, you need to become this advisor that knows every single thing in and out if you're in an Airbnb offer, you need to be that person. You are not that person right now. That's okay. But fuck yeah, study every day and do anything you need, because that's where you're really going to come. That's how you're going to cast all the certainty. So for example, in this offer, I know everything about appointment setting. I fucking wasn't a DM setter myself. When someone asked me, for example, that, and I'm not expecting you to know that, but now you know that that should be your goal. When someone asks me, I'm in tech, obviously, guys, I'm super into the weeds. Oh yeah, we do have clients that do cloud engineering, that do cybersecurity, and all of that, and they're looking for closers that are specifically passionate about that. So you will be a really great fit for them. Which is true. I know them. I know these clients that we have. But that only comes from expertise and me really wanting to go deep and understanding, okay, who do we serve? Who's our client base? Sometimes people ask in the call, okay, and what are the industries that you mainly serve? I know the answer to that question. What are the closers and distillers that you mainly serve? I know the answer to that question, but that is not a question that I want to answer first. I'm going to ask, what's behind that? Are you looking for a specific industry, or where did that come from? And say, yeah, I'm passionate about self-development, but I'm just making stuff up. I'm passionate about self-development, and that would be great if I can do something in regards to self-development or in the realm of self-development. Now my question is, yeah, definitely, we do have clients there. So it went from which type of clients do you guys work with, which would put me in a position to be super broad answer, to probing them, them saying, I am looking for this. Do you guys have this? And then me saying, yep, we do. It's over. Next question. That's the power of knowing what you're doing here in the tempo change, because it's all about instilling certainty.
Quick
Make
question,
sense?
Paulo. Quick question. Is there a clear guideline on like when you should, obviously you should probe if there's any uncertainty or fear behind it, but is there like a clear guideline? What if it's like in the middle? Like you can't really tell
Put me
if
an
there's some
example.
fear. Yeah. Do you guys place with tech sales?
How do you mean by that? Can you elaborate a little bit more?
Yeah, we talked about I used to do tech sales. I think that would be a good transition.
Oh, so you mean that you want to transition into an area? You want to transfer those soft skills that you already have into an area that you're already familiar? Yeah, that's smart move, man. We recommend people to do that. We can definitely do that 100%.
Okay. Okay. So if it's not like a yes or a clear yes or no, and it's in
I'm
very
not gonna
direct,
answer,
yeah,
so
yeah,
I'm not going to answer a question that I don't know the context around it.
okay.
So if you just go too incisive and too direct, my brain's going to go, hold on. What is the context about this person wanting to know this information? Now,
Yeah.
if before you ask me that question, you give me the context, then there's no point in me probing into that. If you go, okay, Paulo, I'm going to ask you a question because this is important for me. Oh, okay, Nick, I'm going to ask you a question because this is important for me. I have a background in tech and IT. And if I transition into something, I would love to be able to do appointment setting for an IT company because I love it. Is that a possibility? I'm just going to answer. Yeah, I'm going to answer straight up. I'm not going to say, can you say that to me in a different way? I'm not going to say that. It's going to say, oh yeah, 100%. That's a smart move. That's typically what we recommend. Done.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Good question. Okay. I want to try. Conclusion statement, tempo change.
Yeah, I'll go.
Okay. I need a prospect. I need a prospect that asks questions.
Okay, I'll go.
There you go. Okay. We have Tato. Go, guys.
All right, Tato. So that's pretty much it. That's what it takes to become a highly skilled appointment setter, already making 2 to 3K in 4 months and scaling from there.
All right. Okay.
Any questions or anything coming up?
Yeah. You did mention the certification process. Roughly how long did you say that takes again?
Yeah, average of 30 to 60 days.
30 to 60 days. Okay. And then after the 30 to 60 days, we start working immediately, or there's still a bit of a lag period?
Can you repeat that? I don't think I caught
After
you.
Yeah, after the 30 to 60 days, do we start working, or is there still a lag period?
Yeah, just so I can really understand what's behind that. What do you
I'm
mean
just
by
trying to put my timeline, right? You're mentioning 3 to 4 months. So I just want to see exactly when I should start expecting my ROI.
Yeah, like I mentioned before, after the certification process, it's usually 2 to 3 weeks it takes for our students to land a position if you put in the work.
Okay, so it's more generalized positions to get started, or how would you say?
Generalize?
Yeah.
What exactly do you mean by that?
Do you have a list of clients already that you can share with me that you've had people go towards, or?
Oh yeah, we have a full list of clients within our recruitment pipeline that everybody sees once they go through that process.
Okay. What else? I have you on my list.
Okay, let's stop there. That was good. That was really good. Good
Okay,
questions, Tato.
okay.
Good question. So great Control of the pacing, control of the tempo, great change of the tempo. Okay, you see how Cameron straight silence, he grabs something to take water, like chill, fine. It's like, it's not only what you say, it's also your, if you're on camera, one of the things that I tend to say is like, lean back, just do this, because it's, I'm waiting, your turn. You can say, okay, so that's it. I like, if you like, look at this, my conclusion statement. I'm going through the last pillar, like, I don't know, the guarantees or whatever, the coaching, accountability, then the guarantees. You with me so far? Yes. And then I go, they say yes. And I go, okay, that's it. Those are the 3 phases. That's the entire process. That's pretty much it. That's really what's required to, in 3 to 4 months, be an appointment setter, making 2 to 3, 4 months at the beginning, and then like scaling from there. You see how my tone, my last, this is just wrapping it up. It's just like, that's it. So that's my tone. But then I would say, that's it. And then I would just go, I would just give it a good 1 2 seconds. Cameron did. And then if they don't say anything, I just go, any thoughts, any questions that I have an answer for you? But you see this tone, any thoughts, any other questions that I have an answer for you? It's like, it's saying, now is your turn. I'm not saying, any thoughts so far? Any other questions? Which is, come on, we gotta go. That's my tone is saying that. Okay, any questions on that? Okay, any questions on that? Or everything makes sense? Everything makes sense? You can feel that I'm going somewhere else, yes or no? But if I say, any thoughts, any questions, right? Like evokes a different dynamic, a different tempo. Yes or no? Do you guys see that? So it's not only the words, it's the energy, the body language. And now they know, the prospect are going to say, oh, okay, they just start thinking. But if you go, okay, that's pretty much it. Any questions on that, or is everything super clear? Then they're going to be, no, everything's super clear. I don't want to sound like I'm dumb. No, I understand everything. Yeah, what's next? That we don't want that. We want them to digest the bridge and make sure everything clicks. Yeah. Do you guys have anything for Cameron? Any good points, any feedback or anything?
I thought that was really good. Like the control and frame, I was like, wow.
Yeah,
That was
Tato
good.
was asking did you guys notice the skeptical tone in Tato? Yeah. That's where you really need to take control of the call.
Yeah, like,
Really,
so Cam, I went for skeptical tone just so that you can put me in that, dude, you're being unnecessary. So I even felt myself like, shit, there's nothing more to say. I'm being unnecessary. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And also analytical minds. Here, analytical minds are going to kick you, are really going to blast you with questions. You really need to stay in control with analytical brains and minds, because analytical minds, they are going to want to create the think about it objection. They're analytical, right? It sounds exactly like Tato did, not like Tato, like what Tato did, which is, okay, so how many clients do you have on your roster? It's very incisive, very directive. How many clients are you guys working with? Do you feel that? Now you answer that question, you're freaking cooked. Why? Because number 1, you're feeding a pattern. Now another question is going to come your way. Number 2, they're taking control of the call. They are imposing the frame. It's over. It's game over. Ciao, ciao. Bye-bye. So it's like, how many clients do you have in your roster? How many clients are you placing? That's a very interesting question. Where's that coming from? Just so I understand. It's just boom. I don't know what's behind that. I just want to know like how big of a likelihood is to land a position with you guys. I see. So does that imply, maybe I'm just getting this wrong, but does that imply that what we covered before, that you will land a position, you follow the process in the next 2 to 3 weeks after getting placed? Does that mean that didn't make sense, or what does that? How do you mean? Because I'm skeptical now. Yeah, I understand that between 2 to 3 weeks, on average, you're going to land a position, but how true that is? You don't believe that is true in the first place? Trust objection. Perfect. Now I have a concern here in the tempo change. Amazing. Let's discover that. Boom. Amazing. Perfect. Boom. You are objection preventing. Or someone says, I don't know. It's just like very questions in the weed. Okay. And once I land the position, do I have to leave my job immediately? Don't answer that freaking question. That is not a question you should be answering. Where's that coming from? What made you say that? Oh, because I have expenses, I have this. If I land a position, how I'm gonna do it? Like I can't leave my job. Oh, I see. No worries. No worries. I see that we do this every single time, every single month, every single day. We're placing people that are actually working full time. And that's why people come to us. So no worries. Oh, your recruitment account manager will take care of that for you. That's his job. Oh, okay. Thank you. Like I didn't answer the question, but I give them what they needed, which was certainty by probing, right? So every time someone asks you in the tempo change something that is very specific, you have to probe on that. Because my initial natural reaction is like, where's this coming from? It's just like, quick question. The videos in the training platform are uploaded into YouTube or in Vimeo? It's like my initial reaction is, why? How is it even relevant? How is that even going to make a difference? Or that question someone asked, do I get to work with one coach or do you have multiple coaches? Like, why is that even relevant? Do you know what I mean? I'm hopping on an aircraft. Hold on. Before I hop on, the control of the pilot has 120 buttons or 80 buttons. Like, what the fuck? Do you know what I mean? It's like, how is that even relevant for you hopping on the freaking aircraft? What are we talking about? Did you see this? What the fuck? So obviously I'm not going to put that face, but my brain is already programmed to probe on that. To go, that's a very specific question. You must be asking that for a reason. Okay. That's also a technique called elicitation. Not sure if you heard of that. Oh, this is just behavioral profiling. Okay. Like negotiators, like the guy from Split the Difference and all of these people they use, which is getting the information without asking a question. So when someone asks, you don't have to do this. This is just like us getting nerdy here. But if someone asks you a question like that, you can ask them to give you context without asking them a question, which allows you to take control of the frame in a more smooth way, right? Especially with someone who's very skeptical. So it's like, one question that's very important for me is how many hours are in the virtual training platform? That's a very interesting question. I bet you have a very important reason why you're asking that. And now I shut up. I didn't ask a question. I will bet you have a very important reason why you're asking that question. That's called elicitation. But again, like I was just going on a tangent. Again, but someone asked me that, I'm gonna go, interesting. That's a very specific question, isn't it? What's behind that? That's it. Or what made you, what is currently making you, what made you ask that? What made you wonder that? Just so I can understand. It's true. I want to understand the context behind it. You can say that. That's a very specific question. May I ask, what's the context behind it? You can say that as well. Or what's the content? What's the context supporting that, if you don't mind me asking? What's the rationale behind that, if you don't mind me asking? I don't care. But get the freaking context. You guys with me? Right? Oh, like I've done courses in the past, and anything that is more than 20 hours, I get overwhelmed and it doesn't work for me. Imagine that you would have gone in the first place. Oh, we have 60 hours of very valuable content. You're going to love it. You lost the sale. Right? Because, oh no, I can only do 20 hours. Otherwise I get overwhelmed. So this is not for me. I just know what I'm looking for. Bomb, done. You just blow it up. What's behind that? Just so I can understand. Oh yeah, I can only consume 20 hours of something, 20 hours in total of something. Otherwise I go analysis paralysis. I see. So you're looking for concise, specific, and very chopped and break down information to really take advantage of. That's how you learn, essentially. Is that what you're asking? Yes. Great. That's exactly what we do. Great. That's exactly how our program is laid out. You're good. Did I answer how many hours were in the program? Did I answer what the freaking video, how many? No, because that was not the question. The question was, can I go through this process in a way that is smooth for me? And smooth for me means everything is broken down in sizable chunks. I don't have to watch 2-hour videos long. Everything is very step by step. That's the question. So it's actually a yes or no question. It's not how many hours is the program. All of this allows you to get to the truth. And a lot of the time, the truth is reassurance. And so you just say, okay, so this is what you're looking for? Yes, No worries. We got you. That's exactly how our program is structured. Oh, thank God. Thank you. Yeah, no worries. What other questions do you have? And at the end, you're utilizing and leveraging brevity, being concise, and instilling certainty. And then they will go, okay, thank you. Oh, everything is fine. What's the next step? Oh, thank you. Everything is fine. How much is it? That's the biggest question. Like, I'm ready to go into the investment. Boom. Yeah. Cool. Let's do a round of takeaways. What have we learned today? What have we learned today? Any takeaways from this training, from this session, this call? Love to hear you guys.
Learned about.
go
You
ahead.
go this time. You go this.
The energy that you hold is very important, and having short, punchy answers, and knowing to probe and not go into like the huge explanation, because then you keep the power and you don't have to explain a lot. I really wrote down a lot of notes today.
Love it. Love it, Kendra. Thank you for sharing. What else?
Yeah, I was going to say something similar, the usefulness of probing and just essentially holding that frame.
Love it. Love it. Thank you, Cameron, for sharing. Anybody else?
Tonality you hold when you just sit back, right? And the body language that you give off, you have to be relaxed, and then piggybacking off of the other two, probe into it, get the context behind the question instead of going straight into it.
Got it. Okay. Great.
Yeah, I'll also second that or quadruple that on probing. Just the effectiveness of getting to the point. I think it eliminates so much. You're thinking about it now with me saying what's behind it. So it eliminates so much backlash moving forward. So yeah.
Yeah. Makes you more efficient in communication. Yeah, 100%. Love it. Anybody else?
Yeah,
Takeaways
definitely. Yeah, sitting back in your chair to change turns. I thought that was pretty cool for sure. And then don't ask questions that will lose the sale. I think that's pretty good concept for sure. Sure.
Don't answer questions, you mean?
Yeah, don't answer questions that will lose the
Yeah,
sale.
that will make the sale
100%.
blow up. Yeah.
Yeah, and don't start patterns that way.